Hi there, Sandedoll here. I just wanted to tell you a quick story that I just remembered that I think will be really helpful. It highlights just how powerful our mind is at creating what we want. And it can go either direction if we don't take control of it. So I'm an actress and I was working on movie sets, but the industry wasn't busy at this time, and so I was thinking, what am I gonna do? And I met this girl, and she was working for this temp agency. So I said, okay, maybe I can get a temp job. I'd had a few office jobs, and I had my resume. So I said, okay. Now I just want to explain that I was living in a lot of fear. I had been raised with, which honestly most of us have, the fear of things going wrong. And so I sent my resume into this temp agency, and I got a reply back by email, and she said, what was her name? Let's just call her Yvonne. I don't remember her name. So she said, oh, well, let's make an appointment for you to come in, and then I can meet you, and blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, sure. So we have this appointment. I go in. I'm sitting in the lobby, and someone comes out and says, oh, I'm sorry, Yvonne's sick today. So I go into my usual patterns of, well, I'm like, you see, things don't work out for me. I really need this job. What am I going to do now? She's not here. But I was learning these tools where I take control of my mind, because my mind was taken over there. All my fears were taking over, my previous patterns of how to deal with situations, my fear of loss of some kind, loss of money, loss of job, things not working out, loss of apartment, or whatever it was. So I took control. I was in the lobby literally by myself after they came out, and they said, okay, I'll see if, what we can do. So I'm in the lobby just taking control of all my thoughts and emotions. And I said, I don't know why this is good. Thank you for this blessing. I'm not sure why this is good. This has got to be something good. So I'm using conscious competence at this time. If you haven't seen my video on the 4 levels of learning, you might want to check that out, because it explains what I was doing. I was consciously working it. I was working it. I was taking control of my thoughts and my fears and all my patterns and moving them in a different direction. So I just kept saying that. Everything works out. It's going to be great. I don't know how. I don't know why. And it's really hard to know why when you really need the job and the person is sick on the day that you've made an appointment. It really seems hard to figure out how that could be good. But I was working it. I was working my affirmations. I was working my positive affirmations. So I just kept doing it, and I was doing it. Anyway, about 15 minutes later, someone comes out and says, oh, you could meet with Charlie instead. It's Yvonne's partner. So I said, okay, fine, whatever. So I go in and I sit down with Charlie, and we're chatting, and Charlie is Asian. He's from China. And my family are English teachers, and they had a lot of Asian students at that time. So I start chatting with them about the Asian culture, and I really like it, and my family has a lot of students, and blah, 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 and just chatting them up, like I always do. And he said, you're a really good communicator, and I'm meeting with this company that's looking for someone right after you and I meet. And he told me what the job is, and he said, would you like me to put you in for the job? What do you think I said? I said, sure. I mean, the job sounded great. It just sounded exactly what I would love and exactly what my skill set was. So I said, sure, that would be great. So I go home, and then I get a call. Oh, they really liked your resume. They actually liked that I was an actress, because, the thing about being an actress, actually, I've gotten quite a few jobs because people like the fact that I was an actress, because, they had this feeling that actresses, which is true of me, could do things off the cuff, would be okay in certain situations, would be able to mold to different situations. And I had improv skills on my resume as well, which I think lent to people thinking that I could manage certain situations. So anyway, I got, they wanted to do a phone conversation with me, which they did. And then I went in for an interview and I got the job. Now, actually, it was great that she was sick because I wouldn't have had the great conversation with him. And that was his client that I got the job with. So actually, I was right. It was something good. Now, I could have been all freaked out. I can't believe this, and then just leave. She's not here because things don't work out for me. But I didn't. I was in that chair, in that lobby, and I was working it. I don't know how this is good. So you see, I was actually now molding the energy in my favor. I was telling the universe what to find for me. I was telling the universe, something is good here. And then the energy started molding towards that. That's how it works. So here's another part of that story. So I got the job, which was awesome, and I really liked the job. They made me a manager of another person. Okay, great. So I was loving the job. I was calling people up and just chatting them up, which I love to do. So anyway, however, again, I had a lot of fears because I hadn't really had many office jobs, and so I'm at home, and I'm thinking, oh God, they're going to tell me I'm not doing a good job. They're going to tell me it's horrible, and they're going to fire me. And then I heard myself, and I became the witness of what the heck I was doing. And I could feel if I kept on that train, I was molding the energy. Something bad is going to happen. That's what I was saying. Now, why would I say that? I was talking what my worst fear was, because I was afraid of losing the job, because I didn't have, I wasn't financially abundant. So I really needed the job. So I was talking from what my worst fear would be. And I could feel, if I keep talking like that, I'm going to manifest that. So I took time that night in my room, and I sat down and I quieted my mind, and I imagined what I wanted to experience, not what I feared I would experience. Those are two different things. I went into creation mode instead of fear mode and just working from these patterns of fear. So I imagined that my boss was coming into my cubicle and she was saying, well, you're doing such a good job. We just love you. We want you to know that. Okay. The next day, my boss came in and said almost exactly the things I was saying in my mind. I'm not kidding you. Then her boss came in and said those same things. Now imagine what might have happened if I had not taken control of my fear and my thoughts. I don't want to know what would happen, because I'm pretty sure I do know. So that is how powerful you are. So stay in creation mode and out of fear mode. Become the witness of that fear and what you're doing, and then just start molding the energy and imagining what you do want, because it works. So I would imagine, after they came in, I was in my cubicle going, oh, this stuff works. There was like no one to tell. I was like, oh, who am I going to tell? So I was at conscious competence. I was working it. I got home and I was in my fear, and I said, no, I'm going to take control of my thoughts and my emotions. I am going to take control here. And it's not always easy, but it works. This thing works. So here's another story pursuant to this conversation. So I'm an actress, as I said. So I was on this movie set, and I got this call or this email that said, we want you to go for this audition the next day. Now, it wasn't really an audition for a speaking part, but it would pay well. It was silent. I wouldn't speak on set, but I would get paid well. So that's fine. I know that I'm going tomorrow. Now, I was walking around in the parking lot because I wasn't needed on set that day. So I just kept walking around in the parking lot. And this was for a CBC, which is Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. It was for a CBC commercial. So I kept walking around the parking lot for hours. So I was getting some exercise too. And I was saying, CBC loves me. They just love me. When they see my picture, they just want to upgrade me. They want me to be an actor. They just adore me. They can't get enough of me. They just love me so much. CBC always wants to upgrade me. And upgrading means you get upgraded from a non-speaking part to an actor role, which would be a speaking part. So for hours, I just walked around. They love me. They just want to hire me. They're going to, because I didn't know if I would even get the part, but I just kept saying they love me. So that's fine. They ended up choosing me for this sort of commercially type thing. So I went on set the next day, and I'm just on set doing my thing, you know, silent, whatever. And then the assistant to the director comes up to me and he says, the director really likes you. He wants to upgrade you to an actor role, to a speaking part. And once again, I was like, this stuff works, right? And there was no one to tell. Imagine I'm on there by myself. Nobody to tell. Like, I created that. I created it. And when I was walking around that parking lot, I was having great feelings about it. Right? Because I wasn't creating from a fear of not getting it. I was creating from a place of pleasure of getting it. I felt so good about it in the parking lot. Right? So thinking about something isn't the answer, just simply thinking, because you could be thinking, I never get anything, it's going to be horrible, they never hire me. But I just kept working it, and I kept imagining that I was an actor and they loved me, and they upgraded me to an actor role. This stuff works, people. Your only job is to get control of your mind and start envisioning what you want instead of fear of what you don't want. Cut that out. All right, so remember, you can do this. You can do this. Stay in creation mode. Thanks for listening, and I will be back later. Bye for now. Sandra here. Thanks for joining me. If you liked this video, please smash that thumbs up button and share it with others. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I look forward to spending time with you and sharing more stories and tools that will help you live your best life ever. If you'd like to support me, please visit my website at sandydolls.com, where you can purchase some of my products, like t-shirts, mugs, tote bags, and more. The link is in the description. Many of my art pieces correlate directly with my video messages, which I think you'll enjoy. Creating my Sandy doll art is one of my passions, along with providing great content for you. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll be notified of future videos. See you next time.